Hi guys, welcome back to Mansell Media Corner, and today I'm going to do a WWE 2005 pay-per-view ranking, and I'm going to also do some shoutouts, but that'll be straight after the ranking. So we got 10 pay-per-views, what I've got. So in a 10, I got this from W.H. Smith in Maryhill. This, I believe, is the Great American Bash 2005. In the mini event post is that image of Tori Wilson. This pay-per-view isn't a bad one. The only downside, I was just thinking about this just then. In 2005, I think in London, you had the terrorist attack just after we put in a bid for the Olympic Games in 2012. But at the time, WWE went a bit mean and did an angle where Muhammad Hassan is real life was a Canadian, but his gimmick was like a Muslim. But the storyline was really distasteful. It's not The Undertaker or Muhammad Hassan, but you had like people dressed in black balaclavas attacking The Undertaker, etc. But yeah, that was, you have to watch that storyline now, and it's not a very nice storyline. But it's also one of Hassan's last pay-per-view. I think it may have been. But he also had a really fun, really interesting storyline between two former tag team partners and two former friends in Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero, which was a really good storyline. And they never had any bad matches, even in World Championship Wrestling. But again, another bad match. Bra and Panties match, Melina versus Tori Wilson. He also had Eminem, which was Johnny Nitro, Joey Mercury, and Melina versus the unlikely team of Road Warrior Animal and Heidenreich. But yeah, that's in a 10. Not a bad pay-per-view, it's just infamous for The Undertaker versus Muhammad Hassan. Then at number 9, again, not a bad pay-per-view to be fair, is Survivor Series 2005, the return of the legendary The Undertaker. I don't know if he just took time off or he got injured in real life, but this one you've got the brand split in full force with Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. Hell of an elimination match. Also had a really good WWE Championship match between John Cena versus Kurt Angle. Of course, he had the last man standing match between two former friends in Ric Flair and Triple H. The only downside is the general manager match, which is Eric Bischoff versus Theodore Long, or Teddy Long. But you also kind of had a really... Nowadays it's quite an infamous backstage segment with John Cena, Mr. McMahon and Booker T. So that's Survivor Series 2005. Then 2000. Then we got the pay-per-view after Survivor Series. This one's Armageddon. Again, Batista on the front cover. This is kind of the fallout from the Survivor Series. So this is a number 8, by the way. I had a really good Hell in a Cell match between The Undertaker and Randy Orton. More famous, I think, for Bob Orton Jr. or Sr. Bladed. I think he might have had hepatitis C or something. I think the rumours were. But again, he had a really good match between Chris Benoit versus Booker T. Best of 7 series for the US Championship. Had Juventud Guerrero, as he's called there, Juventud versus Kid Cash. You had Matt Hardy versus JBL. And he also had a segment with the late great Tim White in the Friendly Tap. That's a bit of a dark segment as well. You know, like in the same vein of The Undertaker and Muhammad Hassan. But you've got to... But yeah, it's still a decent pay-per-view. In at number 7, this is a pay-per-view after, I believe it's SummerSlam. This is the Unforgiven 2005. You've got the likes of the main event, Raw Champion John Cena versus number 1 contender Kurt Angle. You had Victorian Tori Wilson with Candice Bichol versus Trish Stratus and Ashley Mazzaro. I think this may have been the first pay-per-view, the late great Ashley Mazzaro. Also had a very boring match between Big Show and Snitsky. Didn't really have any chemistry. Had a really good steel cage match between Matt Hardy and Edge. I think Lita just turned heel. Had a really good match between Shawn Michaels and Chris Masters. So yeah, that's Unforgiven. That's number 7. In at number 6. In at number 6, we've got No Way Out 2005 with JBL. This was the barbed wire steel cage match with heel JBL versus babyface Big Show. You had a really good number 1 contender match with John Cena versus Kurt Angle. Winner goes to face JBL at WrestleMania 21. The only downside of this pay-per-view is this one, SmackDown Rookie Diva 2005. Rochelle, I'm not too sure whatever happened to her, but Lauren would like to be known as Angelina Love of Impact or TNA. We had the likes of Michelle McCool, who's now married to The Undertaker for a couple of years. They've been married. Joy Giovanni. This was hosted, if I remember, by Dawn Marie, but you had they had like competitions with evening gown, swimsuit and talent. But also had a really good 6-man elimination cruiserweight championship match with Shannon Moore, Paul London, Funaki, Akio, Spike Dudley and Chavo Guerrero. Also had the Bassams versus Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero. So yeah, that's in at number 6. That's Nowhere 2005. In at 2000, in at number 4. Yeah, in at number 5 now. It's the one after WrestleMania. It's Backlash 2005. Really good pay-per-view. You've got the likes of the rematch team, Babyface Batista versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight Championship match. Getting really good chemistry with each other. Just had a decent tag team match. It's into the greats of all time. Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan versus Muhammad Hussein and Daivari. Had a great Intercontinental Championship match. Shelton Benjamin, the champion, versus challenger Chris Jericho. Last man standing, which not many people will talk about now, but it's Chris Benoit versus Edge. The only downside of this pay-per-view is Kane with Lita versus Viscera with Trish Stratus. If you don't know who Viscera is, he was Mabel, also known as Big Daddy V in later years in the ECW. So yeah, that's Backlash as of 5. And in number 4, we've got the infamous SummerSlam main event, Hulk Hogan versus Shawn Michaels, which is infamous if you think about it, because Shawn Michaels, I think, and Hulk Hogan are very political in terms of the ring. But it wasn't that great of a match. But again, you've got Matt Hardy versus Edge. This is when their feud had a real life situation. Had an awesome ladder match for custody of Dominic Mysterio, which is of course Frey's son nowadays, versus the late great Eddie Guerrero. Had a quick US Championship match, Orlando Jordan versus Chris Benoit. He had a great match there between The Undertaker versus Randy Orton. Had also Eugene versus Kurt Angle. So yeah, in at number 4, that's SummerSlam. In at number 3 is a pay-per-view I actually enjoyed, which is Judgment Day 2005. You got a really brutal WWE I Quit match pitting the champions John Cena versus JBL. Again, no surprise, Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, really strong pay-per-view match between the two. There's a downside to this one. It's nothing against the guy in Hyde and White, but I don't think he was championship worthy. You know, nothing against the guy. We also had a really dark storyline between Booker T versus Kurt Angle. But otherwise, that WWE I Quit Championship match is brutal. Also, you had Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Booker T match is quality as well. But yeah, really solid pay-per-view. In at number 2 now is the Royal Rumble. This was more famous for Vince tearing his quads on live on pay-per-view. I don't think he looked very happy either when you see the footage now. It's probably laughable. I don't think Vince found it funny at all. We had a really good Royal Rumble match. This was more famous for the burial of Daniel Puder. We had again another really good match between Triple H and Randy Orton. Had really good chemistry as well. Of course, he had a great casket match between The Undertaker and Heidenreich, and Shawn Michaels versus Edge as well. Now, on the extras it said extra match. I'm not too sure what that is. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments, because I can't find it anywhere. But you also had quite a fun segment between Eddie Guerrero and the legend that is Nature Boy Ric Flair. But yeah, hell of a Royal Rumble match, which made Batista and John Cena who they are today as two of the best of all time in the modern era. So yeah, that's Royal Rumble 2005. Now in first place, and no surprise, WrestleMania 21. All I gotta say, Shawn Michaels versus Kurt Angle, absolute classic match. And also had a really good segment between Hulk Hogan and Eugene and Muhammad Hassan. We also had the Rise of Batista with battles Triple H for the big gold belt. So The Undertaker versus Randy Orton, and the Rise of John Cena versus champion JBL. The only downside of this match is the sumo match between Akibano and the Big Show. But yeah, the rest of these pay-per-views quality. At the first ever Money in the Bank ladder match as well. You had Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero. Also had a really good into promotional battle royal on the pre-show. Also had a really good Wall of Fame. Gonna have a look where it is. This was WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. Also you had I mean, you just look at that. You've got the likes of the legendary Hulk Hogan, the late great Rowdy Roddy Piper, Jimmy Hart, Paul Orndorff, the late great Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov, and Cowboy Bob Orton in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, strong pay-per-view, easily my favourite pay-per-view of the year 2005. And if I recall, I got this from Woolworths as well when I was like selling media. Sometimes I wish Woolworths would actually come back as a shop, but that's 2005 in terms of ranking what I think of the pay-per-view. So we do some epic shoutouts. These are just random shoutouts. So, starting off with Did You See That, who's just celebrated his 5th anniversary on YouTube. What a way, celebrate your 5th anniversary. Anyhow, so started off with Did You See That? And we got the legend Jim Jam Movies and TV, Scottish Geek Guy, the legend known as Big Paulie, Tweet Wrestling, who's a hell of a YouTuber, loves his wrestling trading cards, etc. He's done 2 books, which I've done previously in a couple of videos ago. DVD and Film Bloke, which is William. Beatdown Bunny, I think he's done a video today ranking his pay-per-view from the worst to the best in 2006. We got the legendary Jamie Powell, AJ Movie Place, Scott the Movie Critic, small screen, big screen reviews with Hale, my friend, Smith Boy reviews, Slay reviews, Lisa Loves, Ready Player Movies, Magpie Movies and Music, Movie Chats, Rock God 2004, Mondo Chelovek Movies, Eli Dodson 8124, Nathan the Wrestling Guy. So let me know in the comments what are some of your favourite pay-per-views of 2005, or what are some of your highlights of that year in terms of professional wrestling. Whether it be Impact, or then it was known as TNA, or I think Ring of Honor was around that time. Yes, it was. So yeah, thank you for watching Mansell Media Corner. Please like, share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Then why not give it a bell and get the latest video updates from myself. So yeah, thank you for watching the channel, and goodbye folks, and I'll see you in the next video. So goodbye.